Hello and welcome to Bangalore Watch Company. My name is Nirupesh Joshi and today we're unboxing the Mark 1 collection. The Mark 1 collection comes in a tactical box. This is called a Pelican style box and it follows the theme of aviation inspired watches. As soon as you open the tactical box, you will find the watch to your side and you will also find a stainless steel card that has the insignia of 3 MiGs flying in a V formation. It also says here India's first supersonic fighter, MiG-21 Type 77, 1963 to 2013. Turn around the card. It has text here that says the Mark 1 collection is inspired by the MiG-21 Type 77. You're wearing a timepiece that pays homage to a dynamic fighter plane that served the Indian Air Force for 5 decades. Now we're going to get this box out of the way and we'll jump right in and take a look at the watches. The Mark 1 collection comes in 2 dial variants. What I'm holding in my hands right now is the civilian variant, and what you see next to it is the Aviator variant. And we'll take a look at the civilian variant first, and then we'll also show you the Aviator style dial. Both the civilian and the Aviator variants come in a 42mm surgical grade stainless steel case. So just like the previous collections, we're using 316L surgical grade steel. The case dimensions are 42mm in diameter. The lug to lug is 48mm. So although it's a 42mm width, the lug to lug is pretty tight. It's 48, and that makes a nice fit even in average sized wrists. And when you turn the case back, you would notice 3 MiG-21s in a V formation. So those are 3 MiG-21s in a V formation with the insignia India's first supersonic fighter, MiG-21 Type 77. And you'll also notice that all the specifications, like what kind of movement it runs and what kind of glass, sapphire crystal, all of that is moved to the side to make space for the insignia and the deep engraving. The other characteristic of the case is the afterburner nozzle inspired crown. You see it's a very peculiar shape, like the nozzle of the afterburner from a fighter jet. We have these rivets here that allow for easy hold and turn. This is not a push and pull crown. This is a screw down crown. So those rivets are really helpful when you're operating the crown. The crown also comes with the Bangalore Watch Company logo etched on them. So what we also find in the Mark 1 collection is that the watches come with a flat sapphire crystal, and they have 3 layers of anti-reflective coating on the underside. We always put anti-reflective coating on the underside of the crystals, even to avoid accidental bumps and scratches on the AR coating if it were to be on the top side of the crystal. So that underside AR coating gets you excellent visibility. You'll also notice on the side of the case, on the bezel, a nice trim and polish. This being a tool styled, a pilot styled watch, we kept the case finishing as brushed finishing all across, except for that little trim here on the side of the bezel with the polish. Just a nice little touch that catches light in different angles. The case of the Mark 1 collection is built for 100 meters of water resistance. The flat sapphire crystal, the screw down crown, and the screwed in solid case back allows us to take this case up to 100 meters of water resistance rating. The Mark 1 collection watches are powered by a Swiss movement as opposed to the Japanese Miura movements that we've used in the past. So this time around, the Mark 1 collection is powered by a Swiss Celita 220-1 that gives us 3 hands, a day and a date complication at the 3-hour mark. These movements are rated for 38 hours of power reserve. Now we're going to focus on the dials of the Mark 1 collection. There are 2 dial variants in the Mark 1 collection. One is the civilian variant and the other is the Aviator variant. What I have in my hands at the moment is a civilian variant. Now the civilian variant dial comes with hour markers 1 through 12 prominently printed on the dial. There is also hands that are really long and narrow, inspired by the MiG-21 fuselage. The seconds hand has a red tip that is characteristic of many aviation style watches from around the world. You will also notice near the 9-hour position a tricolor that is a fin flash of the Indian Air Force. Now, a fin flash is what every Air Force from around the world carries on the tail fin of the aircraft to identify which Air Force they fly for. And the Indian Air Force fin flash is the tricolor that you see here. On the right hand side, you will see a color matched date and day wheel. So it's a matte black dial. So we have a color matched date and day wheel that increases the overall legibility of the dial, and that date wheel sort of blends into the color of the dial. You also have the Bangalore Watch Company logo applied on top of the date and day wheel and the logo printed below it. You see a red triangle near the 12-hour position, again characteristic of aviation style watches. The minute track though has been moved outside the primary dial to a rehaut, and the entire minute track is printed on the rehaut. What's really special about the Mach 1 dials is not just the matte black appearance, which is cockpit inspired, but also how the indices are printed on the dial. All the indices are printed with Swiss C3 grade superluminova, so that makes for a crazy bright lume. Now we're going to take a look at the Mach 1 Aviator style dial. Now the Aviator style dial is just similar to the civilian style dial. It is also matte black. It also has color matched day and date discs. It also has the same handsets that are long, narrow, with the seconds hand and a red tip. You'll also find the fin flash of the Indian Air Force near the 9-hour position and the Bangalore Watch Company logo above the day and date disc near the 3-hour position. The difference in the Aviator style dial is really our interpretation of the German Flieger's Type B watches, where you have the minute markers prominently printed on the dial as opposed to the hour markers that are printed prominently on the dial in the civilian variant. Just as we did in the civilian variant, we've moved the hours 1 through 12 outside the primary dial to our rehaut in the outside perimeter of the dial, and we have printed complementing 13 through 24 hours inside the perimeter in the main dial. That sort of gives a really aviation style theme to this dial, clearly cockpit inspired dial design. The Mach 1 collection watches come in a textile strap. It's really seat belt inspired textile strap. You have a solid textile on the top side, a leather reinforcement on the buckle holes, because often textile straps wear out near the buckle hole, so we put a leather reinforcement there to make sure it lasts you long. If you turn around on the other side of the strap, you will find genuine leather reinforcement on the bottom. And just like all other Bangalore Watch Company watches, we've included a quick release spring bar. Just pull the spring bar, switch the strap, easy enough, 10 seconds. And that gives you the convenience of changing straps as you go. We understand versatility of strap change is important in a tool and aviation style watch, and the quick release allows you to do that. Now the buckle of the Mach 1 collection watches again is 316L surgical grade stainless steel buckles with the Bangalore Watch Company logo laser engraved. The Mach 1 collection comes in 4 models in total. There is a civilian version in stainless steel. There is the Aviator version in stainless steel, and the same civilian and Aviator versions are available in a matte black case. We're calling this the Stealth Fighter. So the civilian in Stealth Fighter and the Aviator in Stealth Fighter. So that makes it 4 models in the Mach 1 collection. Now that brings us to the end of this unboxing video. If you need more information on the Mach 1 collection, you can check out our website or our social media channels. The Mach 1 collection started shipping worldwide in November 2019.